Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
A thief of years. After a 45-year-old man was found dead of old age, the gang found themselves at the high-stakes tables of the Venetian, where supernatural entities and desperate mortals gamble not with money, but with years, memories, and more. Here they met Marid, a confident, charismatic gambler who succeeded in depriving Voltaire of 300 years of life. Now our little gang has come up with a plan to stop this age thief, hoping to trap him within a ring. Susan sighed as she left the table, glancing back at the chips that she left behind. "I'll quit while I'm behind," the handsome, well-dressed young man had said, "and I suggest you all do the same." She hadn't lost as badly as he or the others had, but 15 years was still a lot for a woman of her age, and she wasn't looking to suddenly finding herself in her late 60s. But she knew she wasn't going to win anything this night, and 60s were still better than her deathbed. As she left the casino, she felt the effects begin to take hold, her body wrinkling even more than it already was. "I just wanted to feel young again," she whispered, waiting for her new age to settle in. But it didn't. The aging refused to stop. She gasped, unable to do anything more as she collapsed, feeling every moment as her body gave up, her organs failing one by one, everything inside her shutting down. "I just wanted to feel young again," she thought, as life finally left her desiccated form, joining the other two that had already succumbed.
What?
What the flip? How did... Wait.
We're
Did this happen?
What?
Hold up. Wait.
What?
Hold up now.
Okay.
Did that happen in the casino, like the last time?
It happened as they left the casino. They had already exited the
So they were
building.
past the high-stakes tables and past the exit before it actually happened?
Before the effects took hold, yeah.
That's weird, because I thought,
It's
like...
when you leave the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The effects don't start immediately. Like, the guy didn't start aging until he was already out on the casino floor.
True, but I also remember when you talked about, like, there was an actual, like, human who, like, wasn't at any of those tables, that, like, the hostess was like, "You probably should quit while you're ahead." And so he got up, and you said that he changed, like, we could see the effects of him getting younger as he was leaving the table.
He was getting older, not younger.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point. The effects that were happening on these people weren't the effects of the house.
Great effects.
Even more unhappy.
I'm shook.
I'm just not happy.
I'm shook. I started going through. I got up until the satyr guy and no further because I should have started doing this days ago. But I'm gonna drop all the clues we have received upon arriving at the casino in the Discord.
You wonderful person. I also love because most of them will not be applicable for Cayden to use.
Nice.
Since he was not there for most of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
All
It's
right.
probably gonna go out of order.
3 more victims. Ah!
Lovely, and it happened outside the casino. That's just wonderful.
While we were out and about making a plan and getting ready.
Shoot.
And it's all Voltaire's fault.
Huh?
Wait, you could view it as all his fault, at least. He's the one who said you should leave the table now.
You should quit while you're behind.
Oh.
Rest in pieces, you poor unfortunate souls.
Let's see.
I didn't get anything in the morgue. I decided to jump straight to the casino because I feel like
We didn't get
the
too much
actual
in the morgue.
No, yeah.
All we got was the red dust under the fingernails, which was
we find out more.
We
about
found
that
it's
later.
originated in Arabia.
It's sand.
Yeah, it's sand. And then we found out that he aged more than they anticipated.
And that's it.
Like he should be much more crispy than he was.
Because it doesn't seem like he, as a person, this is terrible. It doesn't seem like he, as a person, matters.
What, the first victim?
The victim, like who he is.
We've already been over this.
That's mostly what we got from the morgue. That's why I skipped it.
Right.
Yeah, so I didn't get super far
I want to see the suspect's
into
color.
this.
So, where do we begin?
How do we feel about the plan? Because I don't like it. I don't think we have enough information. I don't like it.
I will say that you are missing. You actually missed a couple things in this list.
Before the Seder, I missed some things. I wrote down everything that there was.
Well, you did say you skipped the morgue part.
I did skip the morgue part.
We needed the morgue part.
Apparently there's stuff in the morgue.
Is that the part that you missed, though?
Good question. I say we need every detail we can.
What? Tangled poker chip. Faint trail of magical energy. Let's
See, we all should have done this. We all should have just gone through it throughout the week.
Yeah.
There is like the whole there's an influence of a greater power here. I just assumed that was Fortuna. Is it not Fortuna? I did just assume that.
I am not going to tell you what it is that you missed, but you missed something, and I'm enjoying your guessing games.
At least somebody is. We're all
To be
gonna
fair,
die.
at least of the things you missed, at least one of them, I didn't put any extra emphasis on it. So it was definitely something that is easy to miss. I didn't be like, and then this.
And what about this?
Pre-Seder guy.
And it's
Pre-Seder guy.
pre-Seder,
For sure.
because she only got notes up to Seder guy, I think
Yeah.
is what she's saying.
Pretty sure it was before the same guy.
Goodness me, now I want to listen through it all.
I wrote down, besides his super white teeth, I wrote down everything. He shook everyone's hands when he joined the table. I don't know.
Smelled of smoke.
Smell of wood smoke. I'm still bothered by certain things about that whole encounter.
I'm bothered by everything.
I know you're
I don't
bothered
like
by
anything.
everything.
I
We've
don't
we've
like
had
any
multiple
of this.
discussions on this, Caitlin.
I don't feel good about this.
Note to self: this is becoming much more stressful than we originally anticipated. It's like, oh no, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be a fun campaign. Now we're just like, oh my gosh, what's
It's not
happening?
stressful. You just handed me a puzzle. It is stressful. It's
a puzzle we can't fully solve because we don't have all the pieces because we don't know where they are or what they are.
I gave you the pieces.
Jonathan said we have all the information we need for the party to figure it out. They've been given all the information they need. They have. So it's not even in one of those little cutscenes that we haven't seen.
That's fair.
Yeah, the party has been given all the
party.
information to the players.
Well, we know how to bind him.
Do we? Do we?
Okay, so Caitlin's main point is still she's not sure.
Why would he just say, you can call me Marid? Unless, that doesn't matter. If that's what he actually is, then that can't matter. Or he's just really confident.
And then,
Probably really confident.
And on top of that, it still doesn't make sense that, from what we know about Jinn, they tend to be immortal. So why would someone who is immortal be able to be betting on years of all things? It wouldn't necessarily matter to them. And then there's a whole part where after everyone left the table, we know that he felt invigorated. We could tell that he just kind of breathed in. He's like, yeah.
Why does he feel invigorated if he's immortal?
What benefit does he get from all of these years?
Why is he stealing this?
You said earlier that something similar happens when you renege on a deal with a demon.
That I did say that is something that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
There are demons who deal in years of life, so...
Jinn are sometimes demons. Not all demons
It's
are
true.
Jinn.
That's true.
And not all Jinn are demons, but Jinn are sometimes demons.
Yeah.
Maybe he's exchanging favors for his years, and then he's coming here to regain those years, so he doesn't die?
And Calliope's definitely in on
Yeah,
it.
I'm glad that I pointed that out
Yes,
last
you
time.
pointed that out last time.
Would the Order have information regarding shady dealings with white-teethed people.
Of white-teeth people.
Does he have a rap
There
sheet?
is actually an entire file cabinet devoted to people with white teeth
I
in the Order's headquarters.
I mean,
Or if anyone would.
I'm laughing.
he's being incredibly sarcastic right now. But would they have useful information regarding
Genies.
what exactly this person is?
Like what a Marid is.
You could possibly call in a favor to see if you can learn more about the
I do have underworld connections, which gives me a favor from.
That's a minor favor. That could get you some info.
How much am I getting in the hole here with this favor?
In the favor economy, there are small favors, and large favors.
Large favors.
You yourself can access the Order's database, but that would be a computer's check because there's a lot of stuff in there. So if you wanted to have someone else in the Order, like, do a deep dive into
Into
the database for anything about this guy, that would be a regular-sized favor.
Probably also because it would take a decent amount of time to actually comb
Yeah,
through all that
it would
information too.
That
You have
kind of a
several
deal.
hours.
It's true. We decided that we weren't going to start right at the actual ritual and stuff. So we do have a few hours to work with.
Yeah, Voltaire's calling in a favor.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Here we go.
Hey, put that on your character sheet under the notes. You now owe.
I now owe a regular favor.
Bless you,
To
sir.
the order. All right.
I mean, curse you.
Well,
I don't know
to a
what you
member of the Order, you rarely ever owe your favors to just an
It's
organization
to a
itself.
person. It's
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Look at
so
this, look at
his name is Shorgoroth.
Oh.
Shorter.
Wow.
Shoot.
I guess its name. So Shorgoroth is an analysis demon.
Is that his job, or is that its job, or is that the kind of demon
Demon
he
That
is?
is his job. His job. He's a demon whose job within the Order is as an analyst.
All right.
The type of demon he is, you're not entirely sure.
There are some questions Voltaire just doesn't need answered.
He's, I guess, now you know the basics. He's a logic demon. They're kind of the embodiment of logic, completely devoid of all emotion
Wow.
and all morality. Just the coldest form of logic possible.
Wow. That's really interesting.
All right, so we have not yet gotten into character.
It's true.
No.
This is true.
Well,
Okay.
we should
Okay.
do that.
Joan is off to the side for a bit, talking with Najashri about the
Prep and everything.
spell
Yeah.
situation because she has no clue what she's doing.
Are we still at the morgue? Because that's where we made the plan, right? Just so I'm aware.
Yeah.
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 Okay. We're still at the morgue. Okay.
So we haven't left the morgue yet? Is that the determination?
I know that's the
I
thing.
mean, we could
We
go
can
to
just hang out
somebody's place, I guess.
It's true.
Well,
But we're all
Cayden-
already at the morgue.
Walter Biddle's just like, it's fascinating listening to you guys like making up your plans and stuff, but I do kind of have a job. And
Oh, right. Sorry to impose.
it's a little hard to do it when you're all kind of crowding me down here.
Right.
Yes, we had best leave the good corpse doctor to his work. I guess
Making me want to buy one of those bird mask thingies.
Voltaire pulls out like $500, puts it on a table, is just like, and buy yourself a suit to go along with it.
Voltaire, making the world better dressed one person at a time.
He's totally buying like the Legos Death Star.
Yep.
This guy.
Yep. Saw that coming.
This guy.
And if we are going to get these two looking acceptable, I guess we'd better go to my place.
All right.
Cayden just raises an eyebrow.
I'm excited, can't you tell?
Oh, very.
Does he look excited, or is he just like normal?
I don't know. I think he's gained a bit of a stone face with the 300 years that he lost.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
that's fair.
So he
Good
just vaguely looks like he wants to kill something.
Nice.
Hi. Old Wizard McGee
Uh-huh.
ran off to check his old books, I guess, to see if he's got everything right about the spell.
Oh, he had better have everything right about this spell.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too, since I'm apparently the one who has to actually do the hocus pocus.
Well, it looks like we are all heading back to my place.
Great.
All right.
What on earth did Elianna go back to find out? I don't remember.
You had said that Elianna wanted to go back to the casino to like find some more information about how it works, I guess. Because that's where we found out about how all the coins are like
one that
are
was
ones.
reinforced. All right, so am I back from that? Like I went and I came back.
You said that we were starting like almost exactly where we left off.
Yeah, but where we left off was a little bit fuzzy because we were like, all right, we're gonna have a few hours to make the thing.
Like make the plan.
And then I was like, during that time, Elianna's gonna go do this. Are we starting after that happens?
It has not been the several hours yet. No.
Okay, well then Elianna's gonna go find out whatever I said last time, I guess.
Okay. Is she going alone?
Maybe she just calls them.
Could you do
I don't
that?
want to
Just
go
call
alone
the just
now.
call the like you don't have to go alone.
I could call
There's
the
people in the gang
Okay.
who could go with you.
Well, I don't remember what I was gonna ask, but we did get information about something.
Yes. I swear you might have gone back to Calliope to actually just like you wanted some clarification on some things, I guess.
did.
And then also part of our plan was we
one
wanted her help, correct? That was initially in the plan.
That's in the original plan.
Yes, which we haven't adjusted yet.
Yeah.
What if we say
Characters
that
have not even talked about changing the plan. Yet.
exactly?
No.
No. So the plan as is Calliope's in on, or that we want Calliope in on it.
On our thing.
Yes. So wouldn't it make sense for this moment to get the information you wanted as well as tell Calliope about our plan and see how that goes?
Or your character speaks up about her.
Abiding mistrust of Calliope.
Like, as of yet, Joan is the only one, I think, who has expressed any level of, I'm not so sure about this.
I mean,
she was very quickly shot down.
I mean, Voltaire just has a general expectation of the plan to go to hell. So
Wow.
Maybe we could go talk to
No
Calliope
idea.
without getting her on the plan quite yet. Because Elianna has a feeling, but she's not sure about it yet.
Has she expressed this?
No.
Okay, is she expressing that she's... What is Elianna about to do?
I don't know, because I'm trying to remember what I said I was going to go ask Calliope last session, but I don't remember what it was.
I swear most of it was just gaining some information about how
It was
the
some
high
really
stakes things
simple
work.
clarification. It was like...
I think it had some... I swear it had something to do with the chips, because that's where
It
we
was
found out.
probably... I think it was the servers. She wanted to
Oh.
go ask if the servers are monitoring every table, right? I didn't ask that at the casino, right?
I don't think so.
I
I don't believe
Okay,
so,
I
no.
think that's what she went back to ask Calliope about.
Okay, and
So.
so we
Elianna-
agree that she's about to do
Elianna,
this.
you're
Yes.
looking rather antsy,
Um,
anxious. Do you have something on your mind?
I don't feel like we have enough information.
Finally! Okay, someone else says it. I got shot down earlier by Mr. Shoot 'em up over here.
I don't know. I guess I'm just used to not having enough information for anything.
Well, you already lost how many years? I feel like we should be a little careful, especially sending these two into the thick of things.
You do have a valid point. I guess I could call in a favor to the Order. They are very knowledgeable on such obscure matters such as this.
That's a good idea. I think I
And
want to talk to Calliope.
I will
again.
say once again, we should leave the good corpse doctor to his work.
Yeah, let's.
We are
sorry.
still standing in front of the corpse cabinets and
Yeah, still here.
We'll walk outside.
How about we do this on our way out?
Walking, talking, walking.
goodbye.
Rian just
Yep.
tilts his head towards
Yeah,
him.
as they leave, he goes on to Amazon to buy his desk.
Yes!
This guy.
Anyway, why don't we all go back to my place? We can have a drink. We can relax a little bit. I can call into the Order. I'm gonna end up owing somebody a favor.
I actually think I want to go talk to Calliope again. Something doesn't feel right.
I can go with you.
That would be great, Joan. Thank you.
Yes. Please don't go alone. Would you like me to come with you?
You gotta get these boys looking right. It's okay.
Okay. Just don't.
Yeah, I don't need your help looking good.
Oh my dear, the worlds I could introduce you to.
I admit it'd be fun, but I think they need your help a little more than I do. I look good as it.
I agree with you on one point. The other one is up for debate.
I don't like how you roped me in when Rian's the one with that shawl of his, but
Why is everyone making fun of my show?
look, hey,
I can smell it from here.
hey Nathaniel, can we at least acknowledge the fact that Cayden was the first one to make comments about the shawl. That actually goes back to backstory things.
That goes back a
And in Voltaire, I dress like this because I choose to. I have experience in other circles as well.
I've no doubt.
And I just got done with a hunt before this started, so my shawl is definitely in need of a cleaning, I know.
No, your shawl is in need of a fireplace.
Look. It's sentimental. It's a sentimental thing, all right?
Death stare.
She like gives a little smirk back.
Don't piss off the magic users. They can turn you into any unnatural thing they feel like. It's not a pleasant experience.
I can only imagine.
I've never actually tried turning someone into a toad.
Don't get any ideas.
Okay. You two, Joan and Elianna, be careful. Stay away from people with white teeth and darker
yes, the dangers of white.
The dangers of dental hygiene. We'll be careful.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Girls' night out.
If anyone could even see under his goggles, there is a significant eye roll happening.
All right. Gentlemen, it looks like you're coming with me. He cracks his knuckles and walks off.
And Rian follows.
Cayden follows behind.
Oh boy. Why is Voltaire talking about how he's gonna improve these guys' fashion like the most intimidating thing he's done so far?
Because we don't look that great.
Hey, now, Cayden actually looks quite respectable, to be truly honest. He's a very respectable cowboy.
There's cowboy respectable, and then there's
High society respectable.
high society respectable.
Oh, absolutely, and Cayden don't want nothing to do with that.
Okay, so let's go over to Elianna and Joan.
Yes.
Back at the Venetian.
Alrighty.
And Caitlin has, since our last session, discovered what the Venetian actually looks like.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild.
Isn't it? It's
I
so
was
cool.
like picturing like some little like pond looking, like some little little fountains ish. That was sort of what I was picturing. I was not prepared.
Did you look at like indoor pictures?
She doesn't understand Vegas.
She does not
Maybe
understand.
Does not understand Vegas.
Vegas doesn't do anything halfway.
No,
They go-
it is
Apparently not.
over the top and all the way.
Pomp and circumstance that you can imagine.
Every way.
I love my city. It's fun.
I think it'd probably be best for us not to clue her in on our plan quite yet.
All right, that sounds good to me.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, I'm nervous. I'm scared.
Is
Stuff is
Elianna
weird.
nervous?
Yes.
Okay.
But she can't tell because she's cool as heck.
Yeah, Elianna's way better at disguising it than Caitlin is. Caitlin's got like 1 in cool.
I have 1 in cool. Yeah, no. It's all on my sleeve. Alright, yeah. We walk up to the door of the high stakes lounge.
All right. It opens and Calliope's there waiting for us again. You've come back.
Yes, we just have a few follow-up questions, a couple clarifications.
All right. What is it you want to know? Well, follow me in first, and then.
Thank you.
Yeah. Wall reappears behind us. So, what is it that you would like to know?
For the first one's just a clarification, just a question. I was wondering how because you said that there are rules in place to keep someone from going over their lifespan limit when gambling with years, and I wonder just exactly how that system works.
They cannot bet any more than their years.
What keeps them from betting more than that?
Yes, any time that they put more years into chips, they cannot exceed the amount before the analytics department determined that they have.
They just physically can't do it, or is a server or someone monitoring that?
The chips would not appear.
Ah, I see. All right. I was sort of curious as to why did you let us in yesterday or earlier today? Not yesterday. Just because we were just sort of standing at the door, or was there another reason?
What do you mean?
I don't know, I'm just curious. I mean, it doesn't, I wouldn't let just anyone just banging up against the wall into this sort of area. So I was just sort of wondering why you let us in.
Well, anyone who wishes to participate in the high-stakes tables are welcome.
All right. I was also wondering, so what exactly is your role here?
My role is to maintain order and ensure that everything moves smoothly.
All right. And if I'm not prying too much, I was curious about how you get paid, how your servers are paid.
Even supernatural entities need money to live in this mortal world.
And you?
Yes, I also get a paycheck.
Is it a good paycheck?
Yes, it is quite good.
Well, that's good. At the poker table, can you only bet in years, or can you use other currencies as well?
That depends on the game. The rules of the game are often determined when the game starts, in terms of exactly what people are allowed to bet. If the people beginning the game are particularly interested in years, then they might say that only years are allowed to be bet in this particular game, and the same for any other currency. Though there are, of course, also games where any form of currency is allowed. Those are, in my personal opinion, the most entertaining, as you find all sorts of interesting things in those games.
And what is the equivalency of a year to the other forms of currency that you host betting for? Or is that dependent on the game?
Yes, that would also depend on the game.
So it's decided at the table?
Yes.
And that's decided in quantities of 1 year to however many favors or names or what have you, because the chips are each worth only 1 year, correct?
Typically, yes.
Typically?
There are occasionally beings who have many, many years with which to bet, and so they prefer to not crowd the table. So they have things like the 10-year chip that you discovered earlier.
If you have a being that's playing with quite a lot of years, are they allowed to play with other people who have less to contribute to the table? It seems like there would be an imbalance there to me.
They are able to, in the same way that a rich man is allowed to gamble with a poor man at the regular tables.
That makes sense. I'm assuming that the de-aging that can occur will stop at a person or creature's prime.
Yes, if someone achieves a certain number of years, they won't de-age into an infant or something like that. They will remain at whatever their prime is, and if they have an excess of years, then they would remain in their prime for however long they have.
All right, that makes sense. I think those are all of my questions. Do you have any questions, Joan?
Actually, yeah, I do have something. Do you know what sort when people enter the high stakes area here? Does your analytics department, or the fate analytics or whatever, do they know what sort of creatures everyone is? When they analyze me, do they know that I'm human? And when they analyze someone else, know that they're a demon or whatnot? Yes, the fate analytics would know someone's origin, though that sort of information is kept strictly confidential.
Speaking of the Fae Analytics Department, I have some questions about, myself and my life. I was wondering if you might have a phone number for them? Or an address?
There is a phone number, but why exactly would you want that number?
Why, that's strictly confidential.
Ooh.
I like that.
Why should I give you that number? There's nothing in my job description that requires me to give you the number of another department. And in our particular line of business, this isn't something that you could simply look up on the internet.
So why am I asking you?
I'm saying I am under no obligation to give you the number. One could even say that I would be doing you a favor.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Shoot.
How much do you want this?
It's just the number is the thing. Like, we have no guarantee that we would actually be able to convince them to release that information.
True.
Is it really worth a favor?
No.
Not if we execute any kind of operation here, and especially not if she's in on this whole scheme.
Mm-hmm.
I love how we have to actually think so hard on everything.
This isn't like Warcraft where we get to hack and slash our way through 90% of our problems.
But I like hacking and slashing my way through 90%.
You
of
didn't really
problems.
hack and slash into this last campaign, though.
It's only worth it if Elianna cashes in this favor. They manage to convince the analytics department to give them the information, and then Elianna no longer comes to the casino for any reason.
That's not
Which
exactly
she
how
has the
favors
best
works.
cool of anybody in the group, I believe.
True. But at the same time, what about us approaching her to get her in on the operation? Would she consider that a favor as well? If you already have a favor based on the number, it's like, oh, we're going to...
She just might not even buy into the plan.
It's very true. She is a little bit more, we assume that she's under more obligation, since she specifically said her role in this department, in the situation, is to maintain order and make things go smoothly.
Yeah.
Having a bunch of humans die because there's one person who's abusing certain rules, I guess, would not look good on her resume if the bodies keep piling up, per se. So, in theory, it would behoove her to be interested in dealing with the problem as smoothly as possible. But again, she might consider that a favor as well. And if you already had a favor...
I mean, you could also twist it into, you should owe me a favor. I'm doing you a favor.
By taking care of this person. That's a good point.
Are we accepting the favor?
I don't think so. I don't want to be 2 favors deep in with Calliope. I don't trust Calliope. Especially
How would you be 2 favors deep in?
Yeah.
What?
How would you be 2 favors deep?
If we have to cash in a favor to get her to go along with our plan, which I don't think she would go along with anyway, but like if we did.
Even if we tried to convince her that she would actually owe us a favor because of what we're doing. Even if we could argue that.
I can't cash in that reasoning with her now. We could later, but not now because she has that information. Can I ask you a question?
You can always ask me a question.
Do you see the information from the analytics department about who and what everyone is and how many years they have left?
I receive as much of that information as I need to know.
And how much of that information do you need? How much of that information do you want?
I know enough.
You said that you wanted to figure out why this death happened. Do you have as much of that information as you need to do that, or do you need an outside party to help you?
I was under the impression that you were already investigating the situation.
We are. I just don't quite understand why we're not investigating it together as we have the same goal.
We have our own internal investigation team.
And how are they doing?
They assure me that they are making every effort.
And have they been here at all today? Because I haven't seen anyone that wasn't a player or a server or you.
Our investigation team is quite good.
All right. Well, I think that's all we need at the moment.
They certainly don't bang on doors until someone lets them in.
Sometimes you need to get straight to the point. We'll be in touch if there's nothing else that you feel like we should know.
All right, so yeah, as they leave, Joan's just like almost as annoying as dealing with the Fae. Almost.
Well, alright, we better get over to Voltaire's place. I don't feel like we learned very much, but I do feel, even though my initial reason for distrusting Calliope doesn't seem to apply anymore, I do feel much more reassured in the idea that I think she's involved in this.
She's definitely hiding something. I don't know about you, but I am excited to see how well Voltaire's done.
So am I.
He's gonna have to make a hard check on both of them in order to accomplish this. A style check.
And is your discipline to represent your stubbornness?
Sure, I'm okay with that. That sounds like fun.
I don't know, if you guys want to do a check, it would be
you don't
versus your discipline.
I will warn you, Voltaire is the kind of person, he will hold a shotgun to your head. If he has to.
Is that when we walk in? You've got a shotgun to his head. Put on the suit.
So, okay, but before that though.
So on the drive to Voltaire's place,
What are we writing in anyway?
What are we writing in?
I don't know. He's had a long day. He'll probably call a limo.
Oh.
All right, we're writing in a nice limo.
All right then.
Like the kind that has the wine bottle in the side. And
Since he's just drinking out of the bottle.
Anyway, while Voltaire's kind of going at that, Cayden's gonna just be like, so, if you don't mind me asking, how do you know Elianna?
Oh, her and I are old friends.
Seemed a little bit more than that to me, but,
Oh, my dear friend. I do not believe there is enough wine in this limo to get me to the point where I would be able to tell you that story.
I'd be certainly willing to try. I mean, there's plenty of wine around.
Many a person has tried.
I see.
With much stronger alcohol than you currently have access to.
Fair enough. I was just curious is all, since you two seem quite close to each other.
She's a very good friend.
I can see that, especially with how you handled the situation down there in the storm drains.
Yeah, that's happened.
Yes.
I've never seen so much of my blood in one place before. But I made a promise long ago that I wouldn't let people that I care about to die because of me again.
Cayden just kind of nods at that.
Anyway, on from such depressing matters. You two looking like, well, me.
Well, I don't know exactly what that means, but whatever it is, sure, we'll do what we need to. But there's no concession I will make about the hat, unless you have a better hat.
Oh, I think I will be able to find something to your liking.
We shall see, I guess.
Rian is just really uncomfortable about the idea of being back in the suit.
I'm curious, how big is Voltaire's closet? And does he have only one?
Oh no, he has, I'd say 4.
4 closets. Okay.
4 full-size walk-in closets.
Yeah, he's definitely got a penthouse suite.
Yes, he has the entire
floor.
He basically just owns the entire top floor.
Nice.
What color suits are we gonna be wearing? Is the next question.
Ooh, I put Cayden in sort of a darker green velvet suit jacket.
Go on. I mean, I am fascinated by this.
Velvet suit jacket. He would have more of a charcoaly dark gray pants and some nice Italian shoes. I can go into more details if you'd like. And he like Voltaire gets finished with that. He's leaving the hat until last, and then he turns to Rian. He's just like, and you.
Rian raises an eyebrow.
Either you take the shawl off, or I do.
Rian takes the shawl off and just puts it over his arm for the time.
I hope you realize that will not be going with you.
Oh, I am aware of that.
Oh, good. That makes my job a lot easier. With Rian, he'd probably put him coal black pants, coal black shirt underneath, with oxblood leather shoes. Nice. After that, he'd go pick out some expensive cologne for Rian.
I'm curious, is one of Voltaire's closets filled with women's clothing as well, or for other people, or is it all just his clothing?
That is for me to know and you to find out.
He's gonna fix up Joan real good too.
Nah, Joan dresses herself.
Is Joan sure she doesn't want to do anything fun? Elianna asks on the way over.
Oh, I never said I didn't want to do anything fun. I just don't want Voltaire to pick out my outfit.
Do you want to swing by somewhere with no budget cap real quick on the way?
Oh, that does sound fun.
Yay.
Joan and Elianna drop by a really expensive shopping store. I think Joan would pick out a shimmering silver gown to go with her eyes. It's pretty long, but it would have one of those slits on the side, sleeveless, like she has her amulet displayed right in front.
Now, both I and Voltaire is curious about what Elianna is.
I think we all are.
Elianna, she's not going to take the time to go home and grab something. She just gets something at the same time as Joan.
Wow.
She's wearing a dull, dark red evening gown, dull color, with a halter top and a lead gray sheer shawl situation.
During this whole process of getting Cayden into new clothes, and even before the hat, Cayden's just going to offer a kind of thought where it's like, So, I know this part of this is to disguise me, but it's pretty obvious that I was blind before. Do you think I need something else to make sure that he doesn't recognize me? This Maurid character?
Well,
Sunglasses.
At night?
Indoors.
At night, yeah, indoors at night.
I mean, if you're that concerned about it, come here. We can look at some of my accessories and see what suits you.
I'll come and see, I guess.
And I think Voltaire would just go through and he'd choose a rather simple looking pair of sunglasses. It's one of those things that, like, looking at them you wouldn't be able to tell that they're expensive, but if you knew,
Feel it on your face.
you would know that this costs about a month's rent.
Wow.
For this
some-
place?
Oh no. Those would be like they're just carved out of dust.
Sunglasses just carved out of time.
You can't even see through them.
Nope.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter to him.
It's
anyway.
true.
Also, Rian is going to undo his braid and just let his hair
Ooh.
Yes.
Just let it out, man. Just let it out.
Voltaire's just like, is this what we want?
If he did that, then Voltaire would have a talk with him. It was like, we must do something with your hair. It cannot just remain like that.
What do you have in mind?
Are you opposed to losing some of your hair?
Give me a moment to think.
This is where the check comes
How
in.
long is your hair?
Like, I think, how about right here is when Joan and Elianna pop in their awesome new gowns.
So Cayden's a little off to the side, contemplating the sunglasses. He's just thinking about it, while Voltaire is sufficiently distracted by Rian's hair.
Look at you all.
Ah, Elianna, Joan, both of you look ravishing.
Thank you. We made a stop on the way.
I need to hang out with you guys more often.
You really do.
Oh, the things we could show you.
I was more referring to the lack of worrying about money.
I must admit that is helpful too.
Then you hear, yes, you two look absolutely enchanting tonight. And if you actually do look over, his sunglasses and the goggles are currently off. But he does have what looks to be hearing aids inside his ears. But he does have eyes and they are seeing.
Is this like a fun, like, blind person joke? Or...
I think at this point, Voltaire would just like jump side to side and just look at him.
Joan just like takes stock and just like,
So also for your help, his eyes are a very bright and almost clear blue.
Are you... Can you see? Can you see?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Have you been
Well-
pretending to be blind? What is happening? Sweetie, you're going to have to tell me what is happening.
Oh, you might have to speak a little slower. I'm just trying to keep track of those lips a little bit.
What is this? What is this?
More of a disguise.
Okay, that's not enough. But okay.
I never really did
Hang
ask what the
on.
details of your deal were, but I think I pieced it together now.
I think I might understand a little bit more as well.
But for your sake, Elianna, I have kind of special gifts when it comes to my senses. But my mind can't always take everything at once. So I handicap myself, as it were, as you can see, as he indicates to the things in his ears.
Okay. Elianna looks annoyed, and she's just like, all right.
Annoyed? Goodness.
She started looking annoyed like a few seconds before you started explaining.
To be honest, I prefer being blind over all the other options. Helps me gain a better sense of what's around me. Not being able to hear, in my opinion, is much harder.
So why are you switching it up for tonight?
Maurid might know that I'm blind, plus it's way too obvious for a blind person to be wearing sunglasses at night, inside.
Plus, it makes you look like a bit of a D-bag.
I'll take that more as a compliment then.
Well, that's just a fact. People who wear sunglasses at night tend to be jerks.
Despite it sometimes being out of necessity.
I said tend to be.
He just nods.
I mean,
He just nods.
I mean, if you don't want to wear the sunglasses, you don't have to.
No. It's just a thought. Since Maurid might know my own condition anyway. It might not matter either way. It's just a thought.
Well, I mean, my friend, you have gorgeous eyes. This would really take the sunglasses off more.
Well, it'd be kind of painful if I did.
Rian's just leaning up again. What
I have not forgot about you.
What furniture do you have in his penthouse? We haven't exactly described the interior.
It's true.
Fancy.
The interior in great detail.
Not great detail. That's
We don't
gonna
have time
take
for that.
Too long.
We can come back.
No, you don't have time for the detail of my dream penthouse apartment.
It's really, really elaborate.
Rian's just leaning up against the couch with his arms crossed as he's listening in on this conversation.
As soon as the conversation ends, Voltaire turns on his heels and he's just like, I have not forgotten about you. Am I cutting your hair? Am I dealing with what you have?
Okay, say that again for my sake.
Am I cutting your hair or not?
I think we could get a good braid in there. It'd be better than just chopping it all off.
He does look. He would look so much better.
It's so long.
Elianna and I could probably. Elianna, you think
We'll
could
do something. We got it.
Rian's both his eyebrows shoot up.
Excellent. Ladies, do your work.
Rian's getting a little nervous at that. Is like,
How long is his hair?
His original braid only went about 6 inches down his back, so braid undone.
Much longer.
I say about 10, 11 inches down his back.
Okay, I'm thinking side ponytail, braid going from the part down into the ponytail. How we feel?
I like this. I like
Alright.
this.
Wait,
I like
describe
this.
that again, please.
Side ponytail,
Okay.
braid going down from the part,
Uh-huh.
down, probably like a simple like twist going down from the part and then into the ponytail. I'm thinking like a loose
That's
situation.
really cool. All right, yeah. I love this. This is great.
I mean, as you're doing that, you're gonna notice that Rian smells freaking fantastic. He smells so good.
Oh gosh, just as long as Rian looks good.
Oh, he does.
Oh, dude, you look stunning.
I think you might have overcompensated a bit with the cologne.
I was trying to get the memory of his shawl out of my head.
Difficult to
Yeah,
breathe.
when Joan said that, Rian's like, you have no idea.
Okay, so I didn't find out anything from Calliope, but she is definitely hiding something.
Most people usually are.
Well, I think she seems to be hiding something about this particular situation.
Yes.
Not someone like, yes, in general, we shouldn't trust most people. We shouldn't specifically trust her in this specific situation.
Okay, that is good to know. Oh, that reminds me. I was gonna call the order.
You haven't done that yet?
I was busy.
I mean, can't you tell?
yeah.
Like Cayden indicates himself.
I mean, look at these two. They went from grimy little cowboys, looking amazing.
You did a
I do
lovely
admit,
job.
I'll accept the grime. I also had just come from a hunt as well. I will accept that. Also, he is still wearing his current hat, by the way. He has not taken it off yet.
I'm debating if Rian would want to go for a hat or not. I don't think so tonight.
I don't think Voltaire would let.
Now, as good of a job as you did, you should probably do that other thing.
Oh, yes. So he just walks off to a corner and pulls out his phone. He dials up. What was
Shogoroth.
Shogoroth. Yeah, Shogoroth. Okay.
I was having a multitude of other Lovecraftian things go through my brain.
Cthulhu real quick.
Hello. I need to be put in touch with Shogoroth as soon as possible.
Will do. Their hold music is like heavy metal music.
Why am I not surprised?
There's some heavy metal music for a bit, and then
Shogoroth. It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
Yeah. I'm in need of your help.
What exactly do you need, Voltaire?
I'm in need of a favor.
A favor?
It's nothing too extensive. I just need you to do a deep dive into the Order's records and see if you can find anything on Elianna. What was his name? Mordred, Morin, more something.
Marid, M-A-R-I-D, I'm guessing.
Marid. He seems to resemble a djinn from the Middle East. He recently stole about 300 years off my life.
Good on him.
I was rather surprised myself.
any other information you can give, you hear like keys clicking in the background. Any other information you can give me?
He's dark-skinned. He has a fantastically white smile. I mean, I'm talking. You know how the boss has his like just abnormally white ties.
Yes.
I'm
Painfully so.
Painfully white. And they found a particular red, sandy-like substance underneath the victim's fingernails, and he is absolutely not shy at all about giving anyone his name.
All right. Give me a bit. I'll get back to you.
Excellent. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
You just hear like maniacal laughter at that.
Okay, that was entertaining.
Did you find out anything?
Well, I didn't find out anything, but the Order's best analytics demon is currently searching through basically everything known to man, beast, and demon.
How long do they usually take to get back to you with this sort of thing?
2 or 3 hours, hour or so. This is kind of what he does.
What time is it now?
I'd say we're getting close-ish to like 5, 6.
Cayden.
Actually, no, it'd be yes, because he would have had to be looking at you already.
You should come have a look at the selection of hats that I have.
Oh.
Now that you can actually look at things. You walk in and these closets are just impossibly large. And this subsection is just full of pretty much every high-end hat.
Cayden just nods. Alrighty then.
I mean, I did go through a few jobs down in the southern states, so I tried to blend in, but I always ended up looking like a peacock.
Yeah, can't be like us cowboys down there, can you?
Oh no, it's, how would you say, a fish out of water?
Yeah, probably something like that. So, I don't know, so there's like basically any hat imaginable is there?
You have your choice between like some really good looking like cowboy hats, but Voltaire would do his best to steer you more toward either a bowler or a fedora.
So the thing is, you haven't actually seen him take off his hat, so you don't know what his hair looks like either. Just so we're all clear, and so everyone else will know, he actually has a mullet. Like, he has hair that kind of extends down the back of his neck underneath the hat, but it more or less kind of just rises up. It's a very interesting, very 80s style mullet versus like more modern styles. And so it doesn't like extend long on the sides, it just extends really long more in the back. And then as it like rises up, it almost kind of poofs in a way towards the front. It's a very bizarre hairstyle that I found.
Nice.
It was possible. Sims had it, so I used it. You would probably want him to have a hat, to be truly honest.
Well, he hasn't currently taken off the hat that he has been wearing.
True. Because he's wearing a green suit jacket, right? And charcoal gray pants and like nice Italian shoes. Are they the Italian shoes black as well? Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then the shirt, is he wearing white or is it a different like color?
No, I think he would be wearing just a very, very crisp, like it's very, very white, but it's not painful.
Right. I'll figure out the hat stuff while we do the other things too. I'll think about it.
Yeah, Rian is kind of grateful that the girls did his hair instead of Voltaire.
All right, so yeah, as we are heading out, you get your call from Shogaroth.
This should be exciting. Hello, Shogaroth.
Yes.
What have you found?
Well, this is certainly an interesting one.
You're telling me I'm currently sitting here with silver hair.
Well, it seems he's been doing this for a bit. We found photographs of him that saw an individual matching this description dating back to the 1500s in England.
He has been doing this a while.
But found nothing of this figure ever showing up in Arabia or the surrounding area.
Very interesting. Can you give me anything specific about where in England you have found him popping up?
He moved around a while until a bit after the real colonization of America began, and then he moved over to there, apparently gambling his way to immortality for a few hundred years.
Very interesting. So, if he's from England, why is it that he resembles a djinn so much?
Here I thought only white people lived in England.
I mean, you are not wrong. Most people in England are pasty people.
I was being sarcastic.
Gotcha.
Hang on, you can be sarcastic. Oh, you and I need to talk more. Anyway.
There are other races besides white people in England.
I try to avoid England on the whole. France is much more inviting, in my opinion.
Mard is obviously a pseudonym. We couldn't find any birth certificate or anything from the correct period under that name.
Well, thank you, Sugaroff. Is there anything else that you would like to tell me?
No, just I'll be watching. I'm interested to see whether he'll take the rest of your years or not.
Well, to be honest,
I'm hoping not, because otherwise it'd be a waste of, you wouldn't be able to repay me for this favor, but it'd also be entertaining.
No, I'm sure it would be. Anyway, thank you, my friend. I look forward to whatever your twisted mind comes up with for payment of this favor.
As am I.
Maybe
Well,
we were
friends.
wrong.
It seems that our friend isn't from Arabia. According to the Order's records, he originated in England.
England?
I told you that he didn't seem like a genie. I said that at the beginning, but everyone shut me down.
I didn't shut
Just
you
saying.
down.
Well, not
I just
everyone.
didn't speak up, and I apologize for that.
Not everyone. Elianna didn't shut me down. Thank you, Elianna.
Yes. Him being a djinn seemed like the most likely course of action at the time.
So are we talking about just a regular old human who's just been a successful gambler at life?
No, there's something else.
It's obviously some sort of magic.
There's something else there. I know when I smelled him, it was I didn't get everything, but I smelled sand, which is why it made sense. But I also smelled wood smoke, which does not make sense.
What kind of wood smoke?
After I got hit pretty hard in the head, I couldn't really focus on what it was. If I was near him again, I could probably tell you what it was if I just focused on that.
Hang on, you got hit in the head by something?
Well, didn't you see me like almost pass out and stuff?
Yes.
No offense, I was a little.
Yeah,
I was a
you
little
will.
concerned.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's
What
very
specifically happened?
fair. Well, when I tried getting a good sense of him, I got the smell of sand and the smell of wood smoke, but I felt there was something else there. But before I could figure it out, I just got this raging pain in my head that just hurt so much I couldn't think straight or really figure anything else out.
So I'm guessing whatever he has some kind of psychic powers. Just yes, there.
Yeah, I think he also spoke to me. Something about me being a little too curious for his liking or something.
In your mind. So much for disguises.
I say we beat him at his own game.
Come again?
Well, he's obviously been cheating, right?
All right, yeah.
I say we cheat.
So we're going to cheat the cheater out of his multitude of years.
Yes.
How do you propose we do that?
Oh no, I have a little bit of experience in this department.
I bet you do. Would those be collective group deception checks since we'd all be cheating at the table or something?
Good question.
Well, not everyone has to cheat. You could try to win fair and square with your cool.
So what, we just take his years until he dies? Is that the new plan?
From what I've heard, it seems that that's the best way to end it.
If the game he played with me is any example, he lets you win the first few hands.
How has he taken all these years?
He has to be doing something with the chips.
So
that or maybe he's betting more than the average person.
He is. When I talked to Calliope, she talked about how certain players with much more to gamble can use higher marked chips, like the 10 chip we found.
Well, so we know he's got some kind of psychic powers, which means he's obviously magical in some way, and weird smelling of sand and wood smoke. Maybe he's working some kind of weird spell on the chips when...
Well, he doesn't really have to do that, does he? I mean, he has the years, and you said that he's allowed to bet all those things.
He's
I mean,
taking more than is being bet, though.
True.
Voltaire lost much more
That's
than
true.
he
He's
bet.
taking it from him. That's right. Okay.
The one that we found was it was a 10-year piece, 10-year chip. But that wasn't his. The only one from that old game who was still playing was the satyr. I don't know. I'm missing something.
Elianna, you said that Calliope's hiding something, right?
Definitely.
You'd think she'd definitely be interested in someone who's cheating the house.
Her job is to maintain order, so by virtue of her job description, yes. She said when we were first there that the chips do disappear when the person leaves the table.
And why didn't the 10?
Because the satyr was still playing.
That's what Joan was indicating.
Oh, the satyr chip.
The man had that weird sand under his fingernails, right?
He did.
And the only thing he grabbed was the chips.
Is he making his own chips?
Wouldn't they able to detect if they were real or fake chips?
Not if they didn't care.
Where is old Wizard McGee?
Honestly, I don't know.
You would be really helpful.
He seems to show up whenever he wants.
Maybe he's still looking into his books on that spell we originally planned on.
Or maybe he got distracted because he's ancient.
Anyway,
I think that it is pretty reasonable to suppose that, first, this Marid is cheating, and second, that Calliope is letting it happen for some reason.
I mean, it would be nice to know what sort of magic this person is using, or even what on earth this person actually is.
If you want, someone can flip a story point to remember the...
I want to flip a story point.
Voltaire has all the facts. So
Oh.
Are we doing all the facts to get a bunch of info, or one story point to get one hint? All the facts also gives you some mechanical benefits when you have Supreme,
Mhm.
which you could use.
It gives me a story point per significant tidbit of information.
Okay.
That'd be good. Okay, that's more worthwhile then, I think.
And those story points are used up when I use them. They don't go to Jonathan.
Right. Okay, that's good.
I'll use it.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So the first thing you remember.
If you look at Voltaire, he just suddenly gets very quiet and he's just walking, looking straight ahead.
Voltaire, you look like you're in deep thought. Something
But,
up?
huh?
Do you have something?
Is that a light bulb I see?
Yes. Does anybody else remember when they referenced that our age-stealing friend was playing at a table frequented by
I
half-breeds?
do.
Thank heavens. I believe he isn't a full djinn. He smells of wood smoke and sand, yet he's from England.
If he's half djinn, then the sandpot could be explained through that. Again, there was something else that I couldn't tell.
That's probably the other half.
We're dealing with a half djinn who has a particular proclivity for red sand that has to do with his magic.
That would explain why he needs the years.
The red sand must be how he transfers his magic. He loses, so all of his poker chips coated with his disgusting red sand mixes with everybody else's and then jacks up the prices.
How would we avoid our chips being affected if we did try to beat him in his own game?
Clean your chips?
I think it would be quite obvious if we started cleaning our chips during the game.
I could do a dispel of sorts to unenchant our chips. Or if one of us wins a bunch at the beginning, they can just leave the game then, leaving the rest of us to keep playing, and he still doesn't get his benefit.
As long as you can dispel his enchantments, magic, sand.
Like, because, for example, you won a decent amount at the beginning.
I did.
If there were multiple of us at the table and you left then, he wouldn't have been able to spread it among to anyone else, really.
That's
and
fair.
you would have just gained back
A lot.
a lot of years.
I see your point. I like this plan a lot better. And obviously, I'm not going to be at the table. That would be a gigantic red flag, and I don't really think we need that. I, however, can watch our dear Calliope and make sure she doesn't pull any shenanigans.
Cayden kind of raises his hand and he's like, well, I personally don't want to be attached to that table at all.
I don't think anybody does.
I'm failing to see your point.
I don't know. I think it'd be quite exciting. I think I can beat this guy.
I just have had plenty of experience with gambling with things that I should not. And I know that I am not very good at it.
Very interesting. You have yet to propose another option that you could contribute.
I'm just saying that I do not have to be at this table either. And I could also be keeping an eye on Calliope or other things going on.
Okay, so Cayden and I, we can run backup, and everybody else cheat the cheater out of everything he owns. And then we can, I don't know, can we still bind the half djinn?
Joan's looking up Joan's knowledge lore on this one.
Knowledge supernatural.
I don't know how poker works. Is there, like, could you just get all of Marid's chips and then walk away without affecting anybody else?
That involved, without affecting everyone else?
Yeah.
Walk away at the same
His
time, that
chips?
would look a little bit
To get his
suspicious.
chips.
You'd have to have other people fold and then pressure him into going all in.
Okay.
Which that is, but like you can't do that if he has more than you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pressure it.
Yeah, basically, we need to put enough pressure on him.
Right. Like if he doesn't have very much like left and you just went all in, that would basically mirror what his bet would be, I guess. Then it could work. But the other people would have to say like they have to fold because then they're not part of that specific pool of chips.
So the question about whether or not he could be bound, basically no. people who are half of anything don't have to follow by the same rules. They're basically humans with a few upgrades. The same way that Elianna here is allowed to lie, whereas actual Fae can't.
So excellent. We cheat the cheater out of all of his ears and then put a bullet through his head.
I'm not sure the bullet would be required.
If all his ears are gone, then I think he just would also shrivel up and die like the rest.
True, but
I really want to shoot this
I
man.
think all of us can. You can shoot the body after it's dead, I guess. If we really into that, I guess.
Or you
That
could
would
shoot
make
as
me
soon
feel
as-
better. Rian, what?
well,
Wait, does Elianna say that?
Yes.
What did Elianna
You
just
could
say?
shoot him as soon as you walk in.
I could do that. I don't think it would end very well, though.
Probably
yeah,
not.
we don't want to cause a scene. Also, though, if he does catch his on and things do get a little rough, perhaps it would be best if we went in prepared for a scuffle.
I'm always prepared for things to turn sideways.
I've got my wand.
Voltaire, do you know if it's possible to hide some knives in these suits?
You bring a knife anywhere near that suit, and I will skin you alive and make you into my next pair of shoes.
How about guns then?
I have already taken care of all of the equipment you will need, and if things do go sideways, find me and you will have all of your pretty toys.
Cayden's gonna keep his cane though.
So what we have to do is pressure him into going all in.
Well, I like the first part, which is to take a lot from him at first,
Yeah.
and then get out, and then you are in a better
Then he'll
position.
get desperate.
Right, then you are in the position to put him in the position of all in. Keep in mind, again, I think he's doing more than just cheating with the chips. If he is somewhat psychic, he might be able to
Get
key
in
in
your
on some
head.
of your guys' deceptions. Which Cayden, okay, Cayden's gonna say this now, I guess.
I might be able to help with that too.
Oh,
With the psychic thing?
Wizard, I'm not just a pretty face.
Yes.
I'm not old Wizard McGee. I don't have like centuries of experience, but I think I could put up like a rudimentary mental shield around
Okay.
those of us going into this. You know, keep him from seeing our cards, I guess. And then, of course, with him being unable to read my mind, that makes it a lot easier for me to cheat.
I think we have a pretty decent plan.
You ready, Elianna?
I don't usually like playing games where I don't know all the rules. But if it's what we have to do,
Well, I know I like this plan a lot better than the old one.
as do
agree.
I. Though I must admit, I feel a little sorry for the ones who had to go gather everything, wasting their time.
Well, there are other uses for such things. Anyway,
Totally.
All right, so
let's
head back to the
go
nation.
to the Venetian.
Away!
Okay. Hello, everyone. It's so good to have you back here with us. This is your host, Caitlin, also known as Howie, and I hope you're enjoying today's episode. It's a big, fat, long one because we've been collecting clues long enough, you know? Gotta get to that conclusion, see how it goes, and I didn't really want to spend a half an episode developing a whole plan and then spend another entire episode developing a whole different plan instead of the first one. I don't know, I felt like that would be a mess. So here we are. Another reason why we're giving you the conclusion to this arc a little bit early is because we are actually going to slow down our update schedule to releasing an episode every other week instead of every week, so that we can maintain the regularity and the quality that you deserve. And also so that I don't die from lack of sleep. Because I am discovering why people drop out of college to do creative projects like this. But I'm not dropping out of college, and I'm not dropping out of this. And thus, the shift in release schedule. If you want to keep up with exactly when we're uploading, I would recommend following the Genesys Archives on YouTube, at the Genesys Archives on Twitter, or the genesysarchives.tumblr.com. If you look us up on Twitter, you can find the link to our Discord server, so we don't have to stop chatting or hanging out during these a little bit longer wait times between episodes. With that, I'm going to hand you over to Baaron for our mechanics moment.
Hello everybody, my name is Aaron, also known as Baaron, and I play Cayden in the Unseen World Genesys Archive campaign. I will be filling in for Caitlin this week during this mechanics moment, and occasionally throughout this campaign, you will be hearing from Jonathan as well as me filling in for Caitlin as well. Now, Caitlin is amazing at what she does, but she gets very, very busy as an editor, and life just, happens. So I am just happy to fill in during this time, and it's just a great moment and a great opportunity to be able to interact with you in this way, since I don't always get a chance to do so. The topic for our mechanics moment this week will be careers. We've already covered a lot about skills and skill checks and determining what your character is, naturally good at. That usually comes with your characteristics. Now, what determines what your character is actually good at, or what they're practiced in, or better yet, what they are skilled in? In other RPGs, this is defined as a character's class. In Genesys, it is defined as a character's career. This is something you choose after you choose your archetype. Now, when you choose a career, it comes with what we call career skills, specifically 8. And no career has the same collection of 8 career skills. They're all different, and therefore have a lot of variety. Now, the reason this is important for not only character creation, but also for spending experience as a whole, is because the career skills are much easier to invest experience in. I don't know if Caitlin has told you or not, but we actually gain experience as characters after every session of the campaign, and we can use that to continue getting better at what we do. When you invest experience into a skill, you spend 5 experience times the rank you're trying to invest in. So for example, if you wanted to spend experience to gain rank 1 in resilience or vigilance, you'd spend 5 experience points. Now, to determine how much you spend for other ranks, you spend 5 times the rank you're trying to invest in. So, if you wanted a rank 3 in vigilance instead, you'd have to spend 15 experience points. Career skills are important because with non-career skills, you have to also spend an additional 5 experience points on top of the base we just calculated. So, if vigilance happens to not be one of your career skills, and you wanted that rank 3, instead of spending 15 experience points, you now have to spend 20. Ugh. It's not that big of a difference, or doesn't seem like that big of a difference, but it does in the end with the amount of experience we gain after each session. So we have to think very carefully where we want to put things. Let's put this into practice and see how this works mechanically and also narratively. In our setting of Unseen World, there is the career known as Monster Hunter. The career skills that come with Monster Hunter are Athletics, Perception, Survival, Vigilance, Melee Light, Ranged Light, Ranged Heavy, and Knowledge Supernatural. Looking at those skills, we could see that typically a Monster Hunter should be pretty good in a fight, any fight. They have 3 primary combat skills as their career skills, and they also have a career in Vigilance, which is great for rolling for initiative. But they're probably not that good in social situations, since they don't have any career skills that are social, naturally. That doesn't mean that when you build your character, you have to only invest in career skills. You can absolutely invest in a skill that is not part of your career. And that's the fun of Genesys, that you can start to design a character that is specialized in other things rather than just their career. That could be something narratively, such as maybe back in the day, your character was as a monster hunter was just really good at charming people. They don't do so much now, but they still have that skill. And so having a career as well as investing in skills outside the career is what helps to add a lot of depth to your character, and also is what helps really flesh out and develop the relationships between other characters, since the party will usually never be all one career. As fun as it would be to have an entire party just full of monster hunters, certain things might arise where talking with the monster might be the better option, because fighting it would probably kill you. And that should wrap it up for careers as a whole. So thank you again so much for listening. I don't get to say it very much because I'm not really involved directly with this part of the process, but thank you guys for listening in. It's been a lot of fun developing this story and playing with all of my friends, and we're very happy at the positive responses that have come so far from it. I hope that you continue to enjoy the podcast and that you continue to guess and to theorize along with us as we go, and please enjoy the rest of this episode. Thank you again so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for that, Aaron. I've never seen a Bob Ross video, but I'm assuming that it feels as soothing and relaxing as that mechanics moment felt. I'm genuinely looking forward to the next one. But anyway, I'm gonna let you get back to the conclusion of the High Roller arc. Let's find out if fortune really favors the bold, shall we?
Yes, we have a boat that will go through the streets of downtown Las Vegas.
Oh, can't you guys take a joke?
Okay.
Says the man who won't take jokes.
So we go back to the Venetian.
In our magical
I
flying
have
boat.
a purse. Want to establish that.
I have my bag of holding.
Yeah, Joan has a purse as well.
Rian just has the basics. of
Because
phone.
as beautiful as this dress is, it does not have
Pockets.
That's what purses are for.
That's why you have purses.
It's very rare to
That's
find
what
a
a purse
dress
is
with
for.
pockets.
That's why Joan's normal outfit, her jacket has pockets, and her jeans have actual pockets, unlike most
Jeans.
women's
Female.
jeans.
So Cayden has on him just what he could take from his bag into his pockets because he won't carry his bag with him. So he'll have his cane and one of his guns on him. He does have blessed brass knuckles, which are going to be in one of his pockets, and then of course he has his cane, and then I don't know, is there anything else I could actually get away with? I don't think so.
Joan,
Rian has nothing because of Voltaire's strictness.
Joan has her amulet on display.
Good thing I
The neckline is just low enough that like the full amulet is out there, and of course she has her wand, and she also has her shield bracelet as well.
love how everyone has something but me.
That's because I have your things.
Get a purse.
That's why he has the bag of
Oh,
holding.
yeah.
That's his point, you know, like
I have all of your things in my
Okay.
bag of holding.
Okay, I don't think we actually clarified that.
So Joan's gonna whip out the mental shield. Ooh,
nice.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good.
Who's at the table exactly?
Looks like
Rian, Elianna, and
Elianna is.
Yeah, we have enough advantages for everyone.
Whew.
there you go.
Here we go, folks.
But before Rian goes to the table, Cayden's gonna kind of like take him to the side and he's gonna be like, "Look, Rian, out of everyone on that table, I'm most worried about you. No, I hope you don't take offense to that. But at the same time,
not at all.
this feels a little bit out of, you know, your depth or comfort zone. You know.
It's not just
Yeah.
that.
I mean, are you nervous about all this and all that jazz?
No, the suit brings back some unpleasant memories.
The
So-
suit's what you're worried about? Out of all the things that could go wrong tonight, the suit's the thing that concerns
Nah,
you.
I am more concerned about what's going to
Alright.
happen, but the suit
Alright.
does bring back some unpleasant memories.
All right,
Hey guys, yeah, you're coming.
hurry up.
just do your best
Alright.
and stay cool. Use that nice, peaceable demeanor. Just don't give everything away, all right?
I'll do my best.
All right, so we head down, and this time the door just opens for us.
It's because we're dressed
Because-
for the occasion.
Well, actually, it's because we came here with the
Wanted.
intent.
Ah.
You have to be willing to gamble.
It's not exactly subtle because we look so good, but it's definitely a better approach than our first attempt at that door. Let's just say that.
So Marid is just setting up at a table when we show up.
Oh,
Showtime.
Is there
ladies
anyone
and
else
gents.
at this table?
Not yet.
All right.
we lucked out with that one then.
Elianna walks up, goes to sit down.
This is Rian.
She says, "May I join you?"
He smiles his bright white smile. Of course. Then Joan comes as well. And then not long after the group sits down, the satyr from earlier
course.
shows up.
Oh, boy.
Of course.
Oh man, this looks like the table where all the good looking people are hanging out. That must mean it's my table too.
Rian just rolls his eyes.
Hey, you were included in that, Rian.
Where are we sitting here?
So
Yeah,
where's
where's Marid?
Marid is at the head of the table, like against the wall.
Elianna's gonna sit directly across from him. Marid.
Joan would sit right next to Elianna.
And Rian will just sit right next to Joan then.
Okay, so the satyr guy sits right next to the other side of Elianna.
We're all sticking together at this.
Hey, you know, if I win, I can give you a bit of your stuff back for free if you want to go out for a drink.
Obviously, talking to Elianna.
Yeah, he's like leaning up. He is flirting. He's not doing a good job of it, but he is flirting.
Sorry, say that again.
You
I
never
just
did
yanked
that.
out mine and Darren's earbuds on accident.
The satyr is doing an absolutely awful job of flirting with Elianna.
Excellent.
As always.
Well, we'll see how the game goes.
All right.
Elianna was like
Let's do
silent
it.
and serious and distracted like the whole way here, but as soon as she walks up to this table, she's just turned on.
All right.
So Cayden is trying to stay out of Marid's field of vision, but definitely keeping an eye more on the table, as well as trying to just see where Calliope is as well. But he's gonna be he's gonna be focused more on the table.
Yeah, as this begins, Calliope shows up, just moving around doing her job, and then make a perception check since you're watching.
All right,
her.
3 and 4, 2 blue die, remove 2 black die.
She's doing a pretty good job of being discreet, but you're too good. You can see, as you're unblinded yourself, you can see that she's very subtly watching the game.
Cayden will nudge Voltaire if they were more or less right next to each other and just indicate Calliope is definitely focused on what's happening at that gang as much as we are.
Very interesting.
All right, so let's begin. What is Elianna's cool or deception, whichever one she's
She's
using?
gonna use her cool. It's 3 yellow and 1 green.
And so you don't have the handicap that Zander didn't know he had last time.
I didn't know I had a handicap.
The handicap of the other guy is able to read your mind. Now we're flipping a coin.
Oh no.
Luck be a lady.
Yep. Lady Luck
flip.
herself. Let's see what she feels about all this. That's interesting.
That's never good to hear.
Oh boy.
Please join me in my knocking of wood,
I did.
Caitlin. Thank you.
What's the buy-in for this game?
25 years.
I thought it was 20 years last time.
It's 25 this time.
Oh, it's 20 left.
Oh, was it 20?
Yeah.
Sorry, then 20.
Okay. Rian's just going to go for the minimum 20.
It's too late.
Huh? I know. I'm not getting out of it. I don't like it.
I know you don't like
at all.
it, but
20 years is a lot.
Looks like Caitlin or Elianna wins the first hand.
Nice.
And like Mard smiles at you and is like, looks like you're having a good start.
I tend to be rather lucky.
Joan actually loses a pretty decent amount to Elianna in that hand.
Oh. Okay.
Joan's unfazed.
as like the game is progressing, Cayden's keeping his eye on Calliope to see if there's any shift in behavior.
All right, Elianna wins again this time. She's getting a pretty decent amount.
She's gonna live forever.
Let me know when we hit the point where, like, we need to walk away in this plan. Is there, like, a set definable point, or do we just call it when we feel like time's right?
I don't think, there's not really a set definable point. You're just going to have to call it.
And point of order, has Joan already cast the Dispel to get rid of Mard's shenanigans?
Not yet. I think she'll do that once Elianna indicates that she wants to
Do
get
we
out.
have all of Marid's chips at this point?
Like, what does his chip count look like right now?
After that second one, he's lost a decent chunk of chips. He's not half or anything, but solid chunk.
Okay.
Then Joan wins some
Nice.
off of him as well.
Nice.
The satyrs losing big time.
Or is it just those two girls?
Oh yeah, I forgot Rian. What's your cool?
2 yellow.
It's not bad.
Better
It's
than
true,
nothing.
better than nothing.
All right, Rian loses the first one badly.
Oh, badly? Oh, that's not good.
Elianna currently has won the most. You have lost the second most. The satyr has lost the most.
I knew it was a bad gambler, but this is ridiculous.
You lose again, but your next hand is looking really good.
You must have got a triumph or something.
Then Rian wins.
Nice.
Alright.
All right, he's going to get some back.
You win a decent amount. You win some from Marid. Some of Marid's chips have gone into all three of our pools.
Okay.
Now
And most actually, the satyr hasn't won anything, so he hasn't actually been touched with Marad's stuff yet, probably.
And so I think right now
would be an optimum
is when
time.
Joan's going to do her little dispel. She kind of like slides her wand out underneath the table, so she's gonna have to make, I guess, a skullduggery check first.
Yeah, most likely.
Not bad, but not great.
This is far more nerve-wracking than real confidence.
Success on the skullduggery.
Okay.
So you guys don't feel anything, but Joan does a little thing and just slides her wand back, successfully dispelling the, I guess, corrupted chips.
Okay, with that, I mean, he's not going to notice exactly when it happens, but is there any change in Calliope when that happens that he can observe?
Yes, that happens. Calliope has a very, very slight intake of breath. If you weren't watching her like you were, you wouldn't have noticed it.
Did Voltaire go off, or are they staying like pretty much near each other so they can like communicate?
I think Voltaire would stay a little bit closer to you. He's not exactly the most attentive person ever.
All right, then he's gonna indicate towards Voltaire and kind of just whisper. Now, I don't know if it was because of whatever Joan might have done or has done, but I think Calliope's more nervous now. She seems to just like inhale slightly. Something happened.
Ah, she's familiar with what's going on there.
I think it might behoove us maybe to distract her if things don't seem to be going her way.
Well, I mean, I can be very distracting.
Being your very gentlemanly self.
All right, Elianna wins big again.
Where are we at with Mard's chips?
He's lost a pretty decent amount of the chips that he's put in, and Elianna has the biggest amount of Marid's chips.
Now would be a good time to pull out.
I think it would. Gotta start putting pressure on him. I mean, you are probably the best player.
That's what I'm thinking.
But at the same time, you have pretty much most of his stuff.
Yeah.
That, I think, would put the most pressure on him. But again, this is Eliana's decision right now. Is she so in love with the game that she wouldn't think to pull out now, or like?
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
We've established that Elianna really gets into these sort of games.
We have.
last
Yeah,
time.
we have.
So we're going to make this into. We haven't actually used the agency system yet.
Ooh. All right, please.
Talk a little about the agency system.
Explain for the sake of our listeners.
So the agency system, basically, when we get to points like this, where you have to basically go up against your nature, in a sense, then you can go against your nature, or you can give in to your nature. I, as the GM, offer you one or more story points, and you can take them if you give in to your nature here, and you will lose some agency. However, you can also reject, in which case you have to give me an equivalent number of story points instead, but your agency will increase.
Okay.
Offering one story point, so either you get an additional story point, or I get an additional story
How
point.
many do we have currently?
We have 3 currently.
You have 3, I have 4.
What would Elianna
Well, we also
do?
have
about?
what other story points? You guys can't currently use it, but we do have a few extra ones through
Voltaire has
stuff.
3.
It's true.
3.
Mm-hmm. But those cannot be used
Not in this game,
because
but
they're
we
not
could be
participating.
used
I know.
later for something else.
Does Elianna fold, or does she continue?
Elianna continues.
All right, so you get the story point, and Elianna loses 5 agency.
Ooh, where do I write that?
We all start at 50, correct?
Yeah, you start at 50 agency.
I thought it was 55.
Nope, 50. Yeah, it's every 10 that it starts affecting you, so you're not quite at the point where it'll have any mechanical effects yet. Right. All right, she continues. All right, Joan's next. So Joan kind of like glances at Elianna like, hey, aren't you supposed to... You got a note by now? Joan wins. And Marid's starting to get a little worried here. You start to see just the slightest crack in his, because normally by this point he's started winning back.
A lot more than he's already put in.
Really should start cutting out then.
Rian loses. Dang it. Marid gets a decent chunk of Rian's.
I may be the youngest, but heck, I don't want to die.
Going back to Elianna. And I'm going to spend 2 story points.
I think I will
I
use
would
my
like to
common
flip
move.
at least one of those back. I can't flip 2 back, can I?
No.
I'm going to use Ready for Anything. Once per session has an out-of-turn incident, I may move 1 story point from the Game Master's pool to the player's
Fine.
pool.
Where are we at with numbers of story points, by the way?
We have 6,
All
he
right,
has 1.
that's pretty good. We've made up for current losses.
That's fantastic. What are you talking about?
Okay.
But that's the only time I can use it. You're welcome.
All right. Elianna wins the pot,
Yes.
How many years do I lose?
which forces Marid to add in more of his years.
Oh,
Right,
fun.
because he probably could have bet more than he just... Interesting. Okay.
So Marid has lost almost everything that he had at the table, so he has to cash in more years.
Mm-hmm. Cayden, what does Calliope look like?
I would like... would it require another perception check? I have just been mainly observing her.
Since it's been one consistent thing, I'd say you don't have to keep making
Okay.
checks with this. She pulls out a cell phone and says something into it, but she's not facing you enough for you to read
Okay.
her lips. Says something into it and then puts the phone back.
Does her face reveal anything, or is it... Okay.
No.
I think Voltaire gonna need to maybe provide that little distraction we talked about earlier. She did just make a call. I couldn't tell to who or to what, but...
I'll see what I can do about finding that out.
Calliope turns and walks out to leave.
You might maybe be able to do that fast.
Voltaire's following.
Voltaire follows Calliope.
Yeah.
So you follow Calliope as she leaves, and she walks over to an elevator.
Ding.
Excuse me. Maybe you can help me. I think I'm lost.
Ask the help desk.
The help desk. You must not understand. I believe you know exactly what happened to me and what is happening at the table with my friends.
She presses the closed door button.
Walking in. He jams the door and he's walking in.
This is highly irregular. Now she's finally showing it something on her face. Her face is kind of strange. This is highly irregular.
Yes, so is losing 300 years when you only bet 30.
I'm sorry, but that has nothing to do with the Venetian or Olympus Industries.
Would you kindly cut the crap? My friend saw you looking at the table with our half-Jinn friend.
I am unable. Is it against the rules for me to look at the tables that I am in charge of?
It is against the rules for you to allow someone to cheat people out of the very lives that they come here to bet. I'm sure your bosses wouldn't like to know how you have been allowing a half-breed to muddle things in one of their high-stakes.
Is this a coercion check?
Well, yes. As he's saying that, he quick draws a shotgun.
Oh, shoot! Oh, goodness me.
You're going all out, all
Goodness,
right.
what's your coercion, man?
Good question.
That is a good question indeed.
I don't think I have any.
You have 1 rank.
I have 1 rank
All
in
right.
coercion. Excellent. I have 1 rank and 2 willpower.
Wow. Oh,
How hard is this
I-
check?
should have gone...
I wish that coercion
swap
was
way
based on
first.
presence.
Hopefully.
Okay, you can put the gun down. It wouldn't be much help to you anyways. There's no need to inform my employers.
Then I suggest you start answering my question before I start reupholstering this elevator.
He's not.
He lost 300 years of his life, even as great as a silver fox.
I am 300 years past my limit on patience.
I'm an old man. I don't have much control over my actions anymore.
So finally, her facade fully cracks, and you can tell that she is terrified.
All right. Yes.
Of him, or
But not
someone
necessarily of you. Look, you don't understand the forces that are at play here.
Then start explaining.
There's far more going on than in the
Tick.
city than
Talk. Tick. Talk.
you don't understand. If I said anything, she would. I can't.
If you don't say anything, I will kill you myself. He fires a shot into
Holy
the wall.
crap. I thought she was about to crack anyway, but...
Now.
Okay, look. It's this she lady. She
Oh.
and roses. She coughs up rose petals and collapses to the ground. Bloody rose petals and thorns coming out of her
Wow.
mouth.
Well, that was climactic.
Oh my gosh.
He fires the second shot into her just to make sure.
Oh,
Are you serious? How much damage is it?
It doesn't matter.
So a shotgun at point blank range on a already dead person.
I'd say is more than effective.
He's extra dead.
You blasted a hole in her stomach. You can see the bits of rose coming out of her innards as well.
Very pleasant.
As essentially a rose bush burst into sudden growth inside of her stomach.
Very interesting. As he exits, he just runs his hand down all of the buttons and then leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, so the elevator goes on its way up.
He stashes the shotgun.
Does he
back.
make his way back
And-
to... So while this was happening, there's probably at least another round. But he's going to make his way back to Cayden.
Yep. And you guys have 5 story points.
I don't know if
Do you want to spend any? Elianna wins the pot again.
crap.
Oh my gosh. Merritt's got to be panicking right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's time for you guys
yeah,
to leave.
Elianna's keeping it relatively cool, but like her eyes are bright and intense.
As Voltaire comes back, Elianna said she positioned herself opposite
Marit.
of
That's
Marit.
Yep.
He's gonna just walk, so he's directly behind Marit at a distance, and he's just gonna give Elianna a look.
All right, Joan wins the next pot.
And Rian loses
Most
the
likely.
What kind of a look?
He's gonna do his
flip
best.
that back.
Okay, flip it back.
Is it one of
Man,
those
that
get
back.
out now kind of looks?
Or just like there's a storm coming looks?
There's a storm coming.
All right, Rian manages to hold on to.
How many years have I lost already? That's a good question.
I think you've had to put in a bit more since then because you lost badly at the beginning.
Gosh.
So I think you've lost a total of 25 years.
Putting me at 50 for crying out loud?
Hey, then you'll be older than Cayden.
Marid's just like looking at Joan and Elianna's piles of chips. All in.
Oh!
He puts in on the last hand.
Rian folds.
Smart man. Smart man.
I lost my entire life.
You lost a quarter of your life.
Now I've doubled in age exactly.
Oh.
So what are the options
Anyway.
here? Just so I am very sure of what my options are here.
He put in enough chips here to equal Elianna's
Oh.
pile, so you have to
So
match
you
his
have to match
bet
his bet.
if you want to keep going. So he's all in.
What's Joan doing?
Or I guess technically no, equal to Jones because Jones is a little smaller than Elianna's.
So you wouldn't have to bet everything in your pile.
Joan would have to
Joan
be
would
all
have
in. Elianna would not
Right.
quite all in.
What do I have to lose precisely?
You'd lose everything you'd won pretty much, except for maybe you'd probably keep a decade if you like only matched him. Yeah, so you'd lose all the stuff that you gained if you lost, but you would still come out on top overall.
But then even if he won that pot, he would have gotten everything back, and what you've just done would have been for nothing. Except for you made him really stressed.
So in terms of years, if I lose this,
So right now, the cheater, pumpkin eater situation removed with the magic corruptive chips. This is a good millennia gathered.
He has lived for a long time.
Walk away.
Well, he's only lived for like 500-ish, but he's been consistently cheating people out of way more than
Right,
should-
exactly.
like,
So he
should be.
probably had a huge buildup.
this is a very different choice than the last choice.
Yes, it is.
I don't think it's a love of the game choice at this point. I think she was rocked by Voltaire's look a little bit.
3 millennia on the line. 1 currently your own.
She's gonna match.
So that means that
She's choosing to risk 1,000 years in order to beat this guy. So I think Joan is going to spend. I'm going to spend a story point as Joan's going all in here too.
oh my gosh, Rian is worried sick at this point.
Joan wants this guy out. She's got her reasons for having issues with this kind of person.
So
What's our satyr guy doing right now?
He folded.
This is getting
He doesn't have
rich.
that much.
he don't got that much.
Rian
Because-
actually-
It's not like we have that much.
He ran out of years. He's back because as an immortal creature himself, he only has other people's years to bet. So he's out.
So if
Very
you had looked at Cayden, whose focus is now on the game and the table since Calliope's no longer there, and he like sees what's going on, if anyone was actually like really paying attention, there's a flash of worry in his eyes.
This is currently the most exciting game in the place. Like lots of people are watching this now.
Is Marit still smiling?
No,
Shoot.
no.
Rian should.
Marit is now visibly sweating for the first time you've ever
Good.
seen.
It's called Rian should have left after his first victory hand.
So are we ready?
I want a story point.
Flip one back.
This is gonna be the most difficult roll of the century.
Technically the most difficult role of the last 3 millennia.
Very true.
All right. Elianna puts her hand down. Marid puts his down. Elianna put a full house. Marid puts a straight flush. And Joan gets a royal blow.
Oh my god! Holy crap! Oh, that was stressful. Oh my gosh.
At least one of us won.
Oh my gosh, it's so great.
Marid reaction.
He breaks down. No. His accent breaks to his fake American accent. No, this is not how it's supposed to work. You cheated.
You cheated first.
You had to have cheated. This is impossible. Where's the person in charge?
I'd say that's when Voltaire would walk up behind him. She's a little tied up at the moment.
Sorry, pal, but looks like this wasn't your game.
Well, I think it's time to end the game. But first, I don't really need all these years. I have no interest in being immortal. So, Elianna, here's your years back.
Thank you, Joan.
Rian, here's yours.
Thank you.
I don't know. Actually, I think I'll give you both just a little bit extra.
Ooh.
Give you an extra 5.
But you also
thank
you
you.
did you bet all in or did you match his bet?
I matched.
So then she actually has another decade on top of that, right? So you
does,
guys
yeah.
you actually get 15 years.
Oh my.
So I get 5 extra years.
Yeah, how old is Rian right now?
25.
Okay, then yeah, he doesn't get younger.
Yeah, you're basically back at
but
your prime if your prime wasn't 25.
prime is anywhere between like 20 to
That's fair.
28-ish. But once again, I don't need 3,000 years. So...
I will happily take it off your hands if you're looking for something.
Oh, yeah, I'll give Bunch back to you, give you back your 300. But I don't know, I think I'm going to give the rest to the house.
Wow.
What is Marid?
That's even more cruel. That's so good.
She's like, no, give it back, give it back. I need.
What makes you
Look, I can tell you anything you want to know. Just if like I'm not here on my own. I was hired to be here. Just give me the years
Who
back.
hired you?
How's this fairy lady?
A fairy.
Yes, cat eyes, big court, big whole thing. She wants to cause trouble, wants to stir things up in Vegas, wants to mess up the city, and I'll tell you more after you give me the years back. I'm not ready.
So wait, there was a huge crowd watching this game, correct? Mm-hmm. And he just blurted that out in front of
He's desperate.
everybody.
He's desperate. What did she look like?
I'll tell you more after
The only other thing we have is
after I get my
You're
years
not in a
back.
position to be making demands, my friend.
This is dangerous
You're
information.
in a dangerous position.
This is when the shotgun comes back out.
Oh.
He feels it at the back of his head. Oh, go ahead, give him 10 or 12 years. I can just shoot him now.
No, I'm over 500 years old. I need a minimum of 500 to break even here.
Let's build our way up to it,
Otherwise,
shall we?
Give
him 10.
Otherwise, I'm turning to dust.
And this is bad?
For me!
I don't know how much we really care about that, especially since you didn't care very much about all those other people who turned to dust.
We all know that you don't deserve to live, so how about we give you a little, and you give us a little, and we build up to 500 as we go.
Start talking.
All right. Her name is...
Dang it.
Oh,
Rose.
Voltaire just shoots him. He's dead. Because as soon as that starts happening, he knows what's
What
going to
just
happen.
happened?
And you see, mixed among the brains that just got splattered all over the table are also rose petals and thorns.
How does the whole crowd
Oh, they freaking run, I
react?
bet.
Elianna looks sick.
Shocked. Like, yeah, Joan isn't looking good either. Just Joan kind of like backs up from the table, and like some people run, like the humans and half-breeds in the room just run.
Rian, he's surprised, but he doesn't. jump
Aristotle
back.
immediately grabs Voltaire from behind and forcibly puts his hands behind his back and breaks the shotgun.
That was my favorite shotgun.
And you just shot a man.
Yes. Your point? He was dead
So
anyway.
while
Do not permit shooting people in the head, regardless of whether they're about to die or not.
Oh no, he was
On
already dead.
premises.
There was no about to be discussed, Aristotle.
We can actually watch now as roses grow from his neck.
Fine.
Aristotle, look.
You're still gonna be held.
I currently am being held, but I promise I won't run. Could you at least put me down?
Sets you down, still has your behind your back.
Thank you.
Cayden is gonna make a perception check on the bushes. Why not? Like, also, he was one of the few who probably was unfazed by the entire event. Not surprised that Voltaire did it. Not surprised at what happened.
Joan's seen a lot of horrible things, but that doesn't. I don't know. Joan's not quite hardened to. I don't know. She's definitely not taking it as bad as Elianna is.
runs to find a bathroom.
Definitely
this
not
is
that.
too much.
Joan does look a little green.
Cayden is hardened by these kinds of things.
Okay.
Say, Rian's
What do you
not-
want to know? You succeeded with the
Well, I
triumph.
can't hear, so I guess I can see and smell. I don't know. The only other thought I could have was him to make a knowledge supernatural check, but I didn't think I wanted him to do that until he made a perception check to get a better feel for like what it was.
Your senses are being assaulted. You can smell the blood. You can smell the urine because as he died, he defecated
I
himself.
love this. I love that we always include this great flavor.
I love it. I personally love it.
The blood and stuff is mixed in with the very strong smell of the roses. These are obviously not naturally occurring roses. They're stronger than regular roses are. Like the scent is much headier. There's definitely the touch of the Fae here.
Okay. My hope is if there is like a triumph or advantages, I wanted to maybe help those make a knowledge supernatural check. Because I was paying attention to what he was saying.
So yeah, that triumph can upgrade your knowledge supernatural check. What's your knowledge supernatural?
It's 2 and 2.
You know that this sort of thing could only be done by like something pretty powerful because there were no actual Fae in the room. This was done from far away. Rosebush just grew inside this guy's stomach and burst out what would have been his mouth. So this is incredibly powerful, but other than that, you can't tell.
The only thing he could maybe guesstimate is that it's most likely Seelie because of the nature in which it is. It's the growth of a rosebush of all things.
I hate to be a downer on the situation, but we might want to leave before Olympus Industries gets here.
Well, we're already here. We do sort of own the place.
Who just walked?
Shoot.
Someone appeared.
Is it Fortuna?
Of course.
It's Fortuna.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Boy.
So you see in the center of the room a beautiful woman dressed like an old style Vegas singer.
Okay.
Like
Like one of those.
yeah, like the ones where they'd like sing really close to the microphone
They
and
have like
stuff.
like those elbow length
Marilyn
gloves and
Monroe
things.
You know, I do have to say that was quite an entertaining game you put on there.
Oh yeah, Elianna's not even in the
Elianna's
room right
gone.
She's not even in the room right
Elianna's
now.
gone. She's staggered out.
Probably should go check on her.
Well, I should probably speak to all of you on this. So just a second. Elianna, like you were in the restroom
Yes,
puking.
and then I think she started cleaning herself up a little bit, but she's still completely shaking.
Okay, while you're cleaning yourself up, you're suddenly in the in the room again.
Awesome. Yeah, that doesn't do well for her
Cayden steps in front of the table.
nauseousness.
He tries to block her vision.
And then your nauseousness is just
Okay.
gone.
That's fun.
You're like really nauseous, and then it's just
Okay.
vanished.
That's good.
Oh, sorry. And then like visual problems, like if your makeup had smeared or anything, those are fixed.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you, dear.
Yeah. Elianna's white as a sheet. And she's just like, it looks like she's trying to respond, but like nothing comes out.
Yes, we tend to have that effect. It's not often that I get personally involved in these things, but then again, it's not often that there's so much writing on a game.
So I take it 3 millennia isn't exactly a standard bet.
No, it's quite fun and exciting to see. You all did a wonderful job, I do have to say. Well, except for the unfortunate man over there. I just wanted to thank you all for your help in bringing things back to normal. And you in particular. Aristotle, could you please let go of the nice man? Let's go of you.
Thank you.
It is so unfortunate to learn that one of our own turned against us. Thank you for dealing with that situation.
My pleasure.
Yes, I did quite enjoy Calliope. It's sad to see her go that way.
I mean, it was rather climactic. Roses and all.
That makes Cayden raise his eyebrows. He kind of just like gestures to the rose bush behind him. The same thing.
Same thing. Why do you think I blew his head off after you started
Well,
coughing?
other than your personal vendetta against him, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're not.
Now, I do have to say that I would quite prefer if this sort of situation just kind of gestures in the general direction of the grotesquely murdered man. It didn't happen in either of my casinos again.
I assure you, unless you call upon me for assistance, I will not shoot anybody in the head in one of your casinos in the near future.
Good. Well, I have other places to be. This is Las Vegas after all. Luck always has a place.
Forgive me, Aristotle over here broke my favorite shotgun.
Yes, I can help. She waves her hand and the gun is normal again.
Thank you.
One last thing before you go. Know that I will be watching all of your escapades with interest.
Thank you.
She gives not quite a bow. She's too high above you for that. And then vanishes into the wind that wasn't there before.
Anyway, all in favor of leaving? Everybody raises their hand.
Elianna doesn't raise her hand.
Excellent.
She just turns
doesn't quite
around and
raise his
starts
hand right
walking.
away.
Oh gosh.
Say that again?
Elianna doesn't raise her hand. She just turns around and starts walking and shakily out.
Yeah, Joan's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing what I said before. Everyone gets their years back with a little change, and the rest goes to the house. And then I'm also leaving.
Excellent.
Rian's just gonna wait for everyone else to leave before he actually gets up and just calmly walks away. He's heading to the bar.
Voltaire is headed after Elianna, and as
So is
he's
Joan.
as he's going, he's just de-aging along the way.
Yep, going back from Silver Fox to just regularly handsome.
Rian probably still looks the same as he.
Cayden's also following behind that group after Elianna.
Yeah, Rian's gonna walk to the bar. He needs
a drink.
Well,
It's
not
been a long day.
not quite for the reasons you're all thinking.
Okay.
Anyway,
How are you holding up, my dear?
Elianna just shakes her head and she's just walking towards her car.
That bad, huh?
Elianna, I apologize for you having to witness such unpleasant matters.
Okay.
Are you okay?
I will be. I just need to get to my car, and then I'll be fine.
Can I at least offer you a drink?
Oh, that's what the car is for.
In that case, can I join you?
Sure.
Joan shows up and is like, "Hey, I can get us some of the good stuff from back of the
Oh, I
solstice."
have some of the good stuff in the car. If we want more,
I have a
that'd be
feeling we'll
great.
be needing more.
I wouldn't mind several drinks right now.
Yeah,
Sounds like we're going
yeah.
drinking.
Rian's not with you guys right now, so he doesn't say anything.
How did they say it? L'chaim. Onward.
Cayden is confused because he couldn't read that properly.
It's like, you what?
What?
How dangerous is it to mix the good stuff with painkillers?
Oh gosh. I mean, you do have a self-driving car, but
Moderately dangerous.
goodness me.
How many wounds did you
that's
suffer?
that's like I don't know. Those are both downers.
Those are both
right?
downers. We're pretty high right now.
Yeah.
It's not advisable, but it's not as bad as if you had an upper and a downer.
All right,
at the
we'll
same
do a
time.
little. She does that as she's walking to the car. It's in
Okay.
her purse.
So wait, so she took the painkillers?
Yeah.
And so then she's gonna be consuming alcohol soon. Okay.
Yep.
I doubt it would kill you.
So I guess are we all headed to the solstice then?
Most of us go to the bar and proceed to drink a lot.
I don't think.
We'll see. We'll determine that next time.
Joan doesn't drink a lot, but she allows herself to get one of the expensive options on the secret menu.
Rian never drinks, but he's making an exception for a personal reason.
Okay.
Elianna drops everyone off and then drives home.
Oh.
Dang.
Well,
okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Cayden, it takes a lot of alcohol for his senses to actually be dulled, to be truly honest. I don't think he's going to get there
So I
yet.
think there's possibly going to be a drinking contest between Cayden and
I don't know if you can
Voltaire.
I don't know if you
Well,
can
we'll
convince him into it, but we'll see.
All right.
And
How did
see.
I pull it off? I
That went well.
don't know. Rian's first.
I love that.
Shorgoroth.
Yeah.
SHOR. So favor
Right in.
2.
Favor 2.
Shorgoroth.
Shorgoroth. Okay.
And a couple
Logic demon.
The logic demon.
I love it.
Well, interesting thing that.
That's
Hey,
fun.
my mom.
Yes!
Hey.
Once per session.
Hello.
Once per session.
Bye.
Hello again.
Sorry I'm late.
Yeah, we're just getting ready for the good part.
Yeah.
Hey, bud.
Hey, Mom.
No.
What exactly do you need, Voltaire?
Hello?
Hello.
Is there a meaning for the activity?
No.
Wait. Oh,
We-
Not right.
We,
Not for a while.
we probably aren't the people you're looking for. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Voltaire. I do like my
Yeah.
balance.
Well,
There's still somebody there.
yeah, now they're meeting. Hey, I've already nearly died twice. Okay.
When was the second
Nearly
time?
dead. It's most of your life.
Hey, that's true.
What? When was it? That made no sense. Do you currently have a cane as well right now, or no? Because I think you mentioned something last session about him.
Wait, what?
No, I doesn't have a cane.
And now the real mystery is starting
Oh,
to
gosh.
unfold.
I'm,
Yes, we get to go take on a mistress of the Fey Court.
I'm having traumatic flashbacks when I watched Torchwood as when I was a kid.
Oh, shoot.
I was like, oh, it's another
that
Doctor
is-
Who show. Mm-mm.
Yeah, Torchwood got dark, especially that is where I got the idea of it, was
I
the
knew
fairy
it.
episode of Torch.
Boy.
The fairy episode is my personal favorite, despite how horrific it is.
I started having flashbacks the second you started talking about it.
Yeah, the fairies kill people by making them puke up roses.
Is that really?
Like, yeah, like their entire stomach and
Stomach, lungs, respiratory system.
it's just filled with
It
petals.
was really easy to get to Elianna's shaken place because I just threw myself back to watching that for the first time at approximately 13 years old or something.
Oh, goodness.
I didn't know. I was done.
Man.
This is a rather intensive session.
You have no idea.
I'd say 25 XP for this one.
Very much.
Thank you, gloriousness.